I heard somewhere some people saying that if he wins the belt, he's gonna retire. Some whispers about that.
Okay.
Like if he wins the belt, he retires. Like I'm not sure of that. I don't know if I believe that or not, but it's an option. There's too much pressure on him. Too much
He has
pressure.
a lot of health problems too, right?
Yeah, health problems and a lot of pressure from his country.
Khamzat Chimaev's future in the UFC is now under serious doubt after shocking leaked claims suggest he might retire after UFC 319. Fans and experts are stunned as whispers grow louder about Khamzat walking away from the sport. As UFC 319 approaches, all eyes are on Khamzat Chimaev as he prepares to face Dricus du Plessis for the middleweight title. But in a surprising twist, top contender Caio Borralho has claimed that Chimaev might retire if he wins the belt. The unexpected news has left fans and experts in shock, with many now wondering if this could be Chimaev's final fight.
I heard somewhere some people saying that if he wins the belt, he's gonna retire. And
I don't think so.
I think
You
so.
heard that? Is it something
There's,
that people are
there's
talking
some
about?
some little talks.
Oh wow.
Some whispers, some whispers about that.
Okay.
Like if he wins the belt, he retires. Like I'm not sure of that. I don't know if I believe that or not, but it's an option. There's too much pressure on him. Too much pressure.
He has a lot of health problems too, right?
Yeah, health problems and a lot of pressure from his country.
And the rumors didn't stop there. Caio, while speaking about the situation, added more uncertainty to the mix. He explained that nothing is confirmed, but there's a real possibility that Chimaev could walk away from the sport after winning the belt, hinting at health concerns, financial security, and the idea that Chimaev has already achieved enough to consider retirement.
I don't know. Maybe he retires, maybe not.
Wow.
He has a lot of money already. Like a lot of money. He's good with money, So there will be no something that is gonna make him like, I want to fight. He'll be already the champion. So why not retire? I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, rumors swirl about retirement, and Khamzat Chimaev has shown a different attitude toward the UFC title. He recently explained that winning the belt is just a step in his bigger plan. Chimaev isn't just after the championship, he wants to take down every top fighter in the UFC, make money, and leave no doubt he's the undisputed best in the sport.
They promised me, like I said before, Gilbert Burns, if you win with this guy against this guy, I'm gonna fight for the title. I'm not after that get just title. I'm going after all heads in the UFC, Yeah, smash somebody, make money, be happy, man. If I finish everyone, stop everyone, he has to give me all belts, so. Yeah.
Chimaev's focus on taking down the best fighters also explains why he only steps into the octagon about once a year. He's been open about the challenges he faces in securing the right opponents, insisting he wants to fight top names, not lesser-known fighters, because those matchups bring the excitement and money that both he and the UFC need.
Why has it taken so long for you to fight again?
I don't know, man. Same question for you guys, for Dana White, for UFC. I can show a lot of message to these guys. Give me a fight. So, and I want to fight with the best guys, and they want to me put in somebody who has the name, not with the guys who's nobody. There are a lot of guys, young guys, new guys, and I want to fight Khamzat. I want to fight, but they didn't did anything to fight with me. It's not fun to watch if I'm gonna smash somebody who nobody knows. It's not gonna make money for UFC as well. That's why I think it's hold a long time.
On the other side, as the hype builds toward the next fight, new details are emerging about Khamzat Chimaev's preparation. Recently, leaked footage from his intense sparring sessions has surfaced, giving fans a rare glimpse into how seriously he's training for his showdown with Dricus du Plessis. Meanwhile, fans continue to speculate about Khamzat Chimaev's future, and those close to him are fully focused on the task at hand. Lightweight contender Arman Sarukian recently revealed that he will be part of Chimaev's training camp for UFC 319. Speaking about their plans, Arman shared how eager Khamzat is to get to work, showing once again the intensity that defines him.
He's supposed to come July 15. But he called me 1 week ago, bro. I'm coming June 30. I said, bro, I'll be out I'll be in Thailand. He said, okay, I'll do. I'm gonna rest a couple days. When you come back, we will start. But I saw like a picture. He already started to train. He doesn't wanna rest even. It's good. It's good for me, you know. I get a lot of like experience, and I feel like if I can wrestle with him, I can wrestle with anybody.
Following what Arman said about Khamzat's hard work, this moment with his training partner Rafael shows how serious and focused he is. Even while joking around, Khamzat trains hard and pushes everyone to give their best, showing why he's such a strong fighter.
Rafael, it's gonna be a bad morning for you today.
Why?
Gonna smash your face.
Well, you're gonna see what's happening today. Today, smash.
What are you taking? Juice? Secret juice?
Furthermore, Khamzat Chimaev's training camp and some of the biggest names in combat sports and entertainment recently shared their thoughts on the Jackson podcast. Rampage Jackson, Bear DeGidio, Luke Rockhold, and others revealed behind-the-scenes details about how Chimaev is preparing for the biggest fight of his career, including how he now has access to a full-size pay-per-view cage for his camp.
Just got this cage for Khamzat Chimaev for the camp. He's competed for the title. I had to make sure he had a pay-per-view cage. I'm tired of these guys always yelling at me that this cage is too small, cage is too big. Now you can't compete.
Well, this cage is too big.
No, it's not. That's a pay-per-view cage. That was from McGregor's camp.
Man, don't you know I've never trained in the actual same size cage?
Exactly.
I never trained in the same size cage.
I mean, I did it a little bit when I was out in Colorado because they had it at the Muscle Farm gym, but I didn't like it. I preferred to train on mats with walls.
What about the Santos Studio Jiu-Jitsu studio
Awesome.
right here in
It's
Newport?
perfect. That's the perfect spot. That's where I'd rather train.
Ain't no fun to train in the cage. That shit hurts.
Moving on, as fight night approaches, MMA analysts are closely examining how the Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis matchup might play out. UFC commentator and former lightweight contender Paul Felder gave his candid opinion, highlighting Chimaev's unpredictable and aggressive fighting style. Felder explained why this style makes the fight especially challenging and dangerous for du Plessis, emphasizing the high stakes and intensity both fighters will bring to the octagon.
Yeah, I think so. I think just that first round type of crazy onslaught that he brings to the table and the pressure that he brings early in a fight is very, very difficult, where it might not be the highest caliber as far as pedigree and what we've seen from a fighter so far. I mean, he you know, you got Whitakers and people like that he's been able to beat and get through. But
Felder didn't stop there. He said Khamzat's fast and aggressive start makes him very dangerous in the early part of the fight, but he also gave credit to du Plessis for always beating the odds and never giving up. This fight will be a big challenge for both fighters and could go either way.
I absolutely think that this is going to be his biggest test for somebody that's going to come out, and you know that first 5 minutes is absolute chaos with somebody like Khamzat. He's going to be on him. He's going to try to take him down. He's going to try to take his back, and he throws big punches. And Dricus being a little bit wild and a little bit clumsy in there sometimes. I think this is his biggest test. But, dude, I'm done ever counting Dricus du Plessis out of a fight. He has proven all of us wrong over and over again in these fights where we think he's gonna, okay, this guy's gonna kick his ass. So if I had to pick, I'm leaning du Plessis. Because,
I mean,
adding to the growing discussion, former middleweight champion Michael Bisping shared his thoughts on the matchup. Bisping, known for his no-nonsense analysis, gave full respect to Dricus du Plessis, highlighting his skills, strength, and recent performances that have made him a true force in the division.
Look at
something about him.
I'm a big fan of du Plessis. It's crazy because when we did the UFC 317 weighing show, we had to pick most underrated fighters. And some of the other panel, I think a couple of them had Dricus du Plessis as underrated, you know, and I was like, I don't know if he's underrated, man. I think he's the real deal. He's a big, strong guy. He's knocking people out. He's wrestling them. He's submitting them.
Bisping then turned his attention to Khamzat Chimaev, saying this fight is a whole new level of challenge. While he praised du Plessis for beating top fighters, Bisping stressed that Chimaev's intense aggression and strong dominance make him unlike any opponent du Plessis has faced so far, raising the stakes for this matchup.
He's submitting them. But if you look at Khamzat, right, we know he just goes through everyone like a hot knife through butter. Dricus beat Strickland twice. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. Before that was Derek Brunson and Darren Till and Brad Tavares. There's definitely, I won't say a step up because Strickland was a champ and Israel was a long-time champ. But I do think Khamzat is a different kind of beast.
Meanwhile, the upcoming fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis is generating buzz everywhere, including on the Storytime podcast with Joshua Eady. The hosts gave their honest opinions, emphasizing that du Plessis is never an easy opponent to beat. No matter who steps into the cage with him, du Plessis always manages to find a way to win, making this matchup highly unpredictable and exciting for fans.
Dricus in August, on the 16th of August. How are you feeling about that?
Dricus is Dricus.
Yeah.
You know? You can never count Dricus out.
No.
No matter who is fighting.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna take them down or he's gonna, you know, knock them out somehow.
Yeah.
And okay, talking from like fight IQ or kind of fighter's perspective of it.
Yes, yes.
Dricus doesn't gas.
Okay.
And he's strong. Yeah, he doesn't gas.
Okay.
Khamzat.
They also discussed Khamzat's fighting style, noting how he spends a lot of energy early in the fight trying to finish his opponents quickly. Tamelo Manyamala questioned whether he could maintain that high pace against du Plessis, who is bigger, stronger, and well-conditioned, making the fight a real test of Khamzat's stamina and strategy.
With his fight against Gilbert Burns, 3-rounder. Right, he's used to finishing his fights in the first round. He'll wrestle you, he'll put all his energy to take you down and finish you. Will he take Dricus down? I don't think so. Dricus is huge.
And he's very good on the ground.
And he's good on the ground. He's very strong.
Yeah.
He's going to gas himself out trying to take Dricus down. Second round is going to come. Dricus is going to put pace on him. I honestly think Dricus will finish.
Furthermore, following the buzz around the upcoming middleweight clash, former UFC fighter Mike Perry shared his thoughts on both contenders. He started by praising Dricus du Plessis' physical strength and intimidating presence inside the cage, setting the stage for his prediction.
I think DDP's big and strong and scary-ish. Like, he's a good guy, but like when he's in that ring, he's really powerful. Chimaev lets us think he's not as smart as he is. He has game plans.
Perry then shifted focus to Khamzat Chimaev's dominance and careful fight strategy. While acknowledging Chimaev's threat, Perry expressed doubts about whether the fight will even happen, suggesting Chimaev and his team carefully select fights they believe he can win.
Chimaev's been a terror in the UFC. He's really taken a lot of it over, and we're all excited to see him compete. DDP's been really humble, but very, very courageous, very strong. I think DDP wins if they fight, which is hard to say they even will fight. I don't see Khamzat Chimaev taking a fight that he doesn't see himself having the ability to win. I see that him and his team will pick their fights very carefully.
Moving on, as the UFC middleweight title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis draws closer, former champion Kamaru Usman weighed in with his thoughts on who will come out on top. Known for his respect toward all fighters, Usman highlighted the strengths of both athletes while reminding fans not to underestimate either man's skills and heart inside the octagon.
And just lastly, who do you see taking the belt at 185?
At 185? Listen, I told you guys, don't sleep on Khamzat. When he was fighting Robert Whittaker, everyone said, oh yeah, Whittaker's gonna get him. Hey, don't sleep on him. Khamzat's extremely talented, extremely strong. He can shock anyone. But Dricus du Plessis, you can't sleep on him as well. He's the champion for a reason, taking out 3 champions back to back to back. So, hey, respect to all those guys. I respect every one of these fighters. You know, I know people at home were spectators and were fans, and they like to just kind of talk. Oh, he had a bad performance. He had a boring one. But hey, you have to respect each and every one of these guys that's willing to get in here, you know, in little bitty gloves and damn near underwear and bare their soul in here. So you have to respect that.
Furthermore, former UFC champion Dominic Cruz gave his detailed breakdown of Dricus du Plessis' fighting style. Cruz pointed out that du Plessis' smart movement, constant stance switching, and solid takedown defense could create real trouble for Khamzat Chimaev. He also highlighted du Plessis' size and strength, suggesting that this could be one of the toughest and most physically challenging fights of du Plessis' career.
I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much, and I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough he can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his.
Adding to the growing list of expert opinions, top bantamweight contender Corey Sandhagen also shared his thoughts on the matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis. Known for his sharp fight IQ, Sandhagen highlighted the strengths of both fighters but leaned slightly toward du Plessis. He explained how size, conditioning, and the ability to survive Chimaev's early pressure could make the difference as the fight progresses into the later rounds.
Well, that'll be a good fight. It's hard to bet against either one of them, honestly, just because they've both been looking really awesome. I think that if Chimaev doesn't finish him early, I think DDP will probably win that one.
What do you think's more likely? Do you think it's an early finish, or do you think DDP will?
No, I don't think so. I think DDP will be a lot bigger and really hard to take down and hold down. And then I know that like grappling in the way that Chimaev does, you don't have like 5 rounds of that in you, or maybe he does, but I don't think that he will. And then I think as the fight goes on, he'll get a little bit tired, and DDP's size and his conditioning is such a factor.
Continuing the conversation, Paul Felder offered a deeper look at the key factors that could decide this high-stakes clash. Building on earlier points about Chimaev's aggressive style, Felder explained why he slightly favors Dricus du Plessis. He pointed out that surviving Chimaev's early storm and dragging the fight into the later rounds could play into du Plessis' size, toughness, and ability to wear down opponents over time.
Same thing, and I think that's why I lean a little bit towards Dricus, because I think if he can't do that, which I think will be tough to do against du Plessis, is to get him out of there that early. I think he's a pretty damn durable, tough, determined dude. I think that's going to be his biggest problem, is his ability to fight 25 minutes at that kind of crazy pace that he fights at. And I don't see him going, okay, you know what, in this one, and it might be his worst. That might be the worst thing he can do, is if he goes, okay, I know I need to be able to fight 25 minutes with this guy, I'm going to pull back. You can't let somebody like du Plessis get into that fight and find their rhythm and start to land those weird shots and stumble into a takedown on you, get on top. He's a big, heavy, strong dude, and he's a big guy.
Adding to the mix of predictions, middleweight contender Jack Hermanson also shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated clash. While recognizing the challenge ahead for both fighters, Hermanson leaned slightly towards Khamzat Chimaev, but made it clear that this won't be an easy fight. He highlighted the importance of the later rounds, suggesting that if du Plessis can survive the early pressure, the fight could shift in his favor.
Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing fight, and I think Khamzat is gonna pull it off. But I do think that, you know, especially early, I think it's gonna be tough for Dricus. But if he can push the fight into the later rounds, I think he can have an advantage. So it's going to be a really interesting one. But I'll bet my money on Khamzat in that one. But, you know, not like some people think that he's just going to run.
As UFC 319 approaches, the uncertainty around Khamzat Chimaev's future only deepened. While some insiders hint at a possible retirement after a title win due to health concerns and financial security, Khamzat's own words show a warrior mindset, focused on conquering every challenge in the octagon. His rare sparring footage and camp updates prove he's still hungry and determined. Experts remain divided, weighing his relentless aggression against Dricus du Plessis' size and skill. Whether this fight marks a crowning glory or the start of a new chapter remains a mystery, but one thing is clear: Khamzat Chimaev's legacy is already unforgettable. What do you think will happen after UFC 319? Will Khamzat Chimaev retire, or is this just the beginning of his domination? Drop your thoughts below and join the conversation.